welcome back to AR77. Today we've got another review for you. Today we'll be looking at the HK VP9 by Umarex, the Heckler & Koch VP9. So this is a blowback, metal and polymer, CO2 powered 4.5mm BB shooting replica air pistol. How's that for a mouthful? And it's what I'd call it's not quite middle of the range. It's a bit more higher than that. There seems to be, in my opinion, there seems to be kind of three tiers when it comes to BB shooting air pistols. Certainly within these sort of replica realm. There's the cheaper ones that range between kind of 50 and £100. You'll get a lot of all plastic ones there. You'll get some that are plastic and metal, but often it'll be a fixed slide. It won't blow back. There'll be none of that blowback function. You might get, more often than not, you might get a stick magazine rather than a full-size dropout magazine. And a lot of the working parts on the real pistol won't be represented in a functional fashion on the air pistol itself. Then you've got the kind of the top of the range ones, or what I would call the top of the range ones, along the lines of the Springfield Armory XDM, the Glock 17 Gen 4, even the older ones like the GSG 92 or Swiss Arms PT 92, it's sometimes called. And the HK, just to bring it back to HK, the HK USP, are all what I would call the top tier ones. They're a little bit more expensive, but the materials that they're made out of, represent or replicate the materials that the real world firearm is made out of. So where it's metal, it's metal. Where it's polymer in the real world, it's polymer on the replica pistol. And the good thing about those is, for the most part, they all have full-size metal dropout magazines. They all have working slides with the blowback function. You can field strip them, and every moving part on the real pistol is a moving and functional part on the replica air pistol. Then you've got the kind of the middle ground, which is I think where this kind of falls in. So they range these sort of pistols from around kind of 100 and 120 quid up to kind of 150 quid, you might say. And they're good for the most part. They just don't have all the bells and whistles. But they're still very nice pistols. And what I would say is, as far as an air pistol that looks like a real world gun, I don't think you can go far wrong. I think this fits in that category, along with the Smith & Wesson M&P, the M2, is it, or M9? I don't know. The Smith & Wesson M&P, and possibly even the Glock, the 19X. That's kind of, I would say, the higher middle tier. Personally, I would say. But they're great as air pistols. They're great as replicas. It's just that if you want to kind of get a bit deeper in your appreciation of the pistol, and you want to do things like take it down, if you want the full-on replica feel of everything doing what it should do in reality, then they're perhaps not for you. The other thing is, of course, sometimes, as you know, if you collect any of these, this is sometimes the nearest thing you can get, because they don't create a fully functioning one. I know that we had to settle for the HK USP in a kind of a plastic version, a non-blowback version. Very nice pistol, had a full-size dropout magazine, but if you were anything like me, you were kind of going, please just make a fully functioning, field strippable, metal and polymer blowback version. And eventually they did, so sometimes it's a waiting game. Anyway, back to it. This is the HK VP9, so called because in the real world this is a gun which is chambered in 9mm. I think you can get a VP40 as well in the real steel, but this is the replica of the VP9. So 9mm VP, standing for, I think, Volks pistol or something like that. I probably can't pronounce it properly, but similar to Volkswagen, the cars, it's the people's pistol, Volks, folks, the people. So, very nice pistol. HK's kind of motto is no compromise, and this is a very nice pistol. There are some compromises in the replica version here, but it is a very nice pistol. It feels like a very modern pistol, actually, just because some of the design features on it, you know, with there's quite a big rail here, the styling of it, you know, these kind of I forgot what you call it, but tactile kind of grips. Yeah, it feels very modern. I think they only introduced them in around and about, I think it was after 2010. I want to say 2013, 2014, something like that. But really nice pistol. Let's take a little walk around of this one then. So we've got, as I said before, you've got your kind of a rail there. Words escape me. You've got your rail there for attachments and so on and so forth. I probably won't add anything to this. I quite like the profile of the pistol itself. You've got the lovely markings there, the kind of slide serrations. So you can, in the real world, you'd use that for perhaps a little check, a little barrel check, just to see if you've got any ammo in there. Or some people prefer racking the guns from the front, and the option is yours there. So that's nice little detail there. You've got some lovely HK VP9 markings here. And you've got the accurate kind of caliber marking there, 9mm times 19 rounds. And nice and subtle just below it, etched into the lower frame, the polymer part of the frame, you've got your actual caliber information, cal 4.5mm or 0.177. Heckler & Koch. Got your F there, as comes on all these air pistols, it seems. Again, you've got your slide release button there, which is working. This is a takedown lever. That doesn't do anything. There's no function to that, but it's nice that it's there. You can see it. You can't take this gun down, as far as I'm aware, or it's not intended that you would take it down. So don't worry about it. It'll look after itself pretty much. Some more slide lines there at the back. Quite nice. There's this kind of extended bit at the back for you to kind of wrap the slide. Let me do that again. It hooks you up once you get back there. It's a bit broader at the back, similar, I guess, to the charging handle on an AR-15. So yeah. So you've got your arm to the back. You've got these lovely white dot sights. Really straightforward sight picture there. That's really good to see. I don't really see, they bring a lot of pistols out that just don't have any kind of. I understand, it's not going to be an adjustable sight necessarily all the time, and you don't really, on an air pistol, you don't always need an adjustable sight, especially one of these kind of action pistols where it's just for a bit of plinking. But it's nice to have a bit of a white dot in there. Some people prefer white dot at the front and nothing at the back. Some people prefer fibre optics, but I actually quite like white dot front and rear. I find that really easy for sight acquisition. So I'm glad to see it there. Again, you've got a cut-out ejection port there. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a bit. And the magazine, you've got these kind of Kovac type sights there at the back. Down the other side, same sort of detailing. Got your ejector rod, kind of. It's detailed, but it doesn't do anything, obviously. And this is, I think, on the real VP9, all of the controls are ambidextrous. So that would be your slide catch release from the right hand side, but it doesn't do anything in this case. So that's a shame, but it's nice that it's included as a detail. It doesn't bother me that doesn't do anything really. If it bothers you, fair enough, you know, don't buy it. HK 9mm by 19 again, nice trademarks there, and a nice slide serrations there at the front of the right hand side of the slide. You've got this safety here. Don't think that would exist on the real world VP9, but again, it's the difference between what works on the real pistol and what works on the air pistol, and actually that's in a pretty good place. You know, that's really straightforward. If you want an air pistol that's a replica or just looks like a nice pistol, and you're not too fussed about it being a perfect replica, which you can get caught up in, you know. But if you're not fussed about that, if you just want a nice pistol for a bit of plinking, that's in a perfectly good spot there. Access it with your index finger. In fact, if it keeps your finger up there off the trigger for any longer, all the better for it. Really straightforward, works. Nice reassuring click on and off, and you're good to go. They've also got, on this particular pistol, the working trigger safety there. So if you try and pull the trigger, nothing doing unless you've got that trigger safety engaged there. So if you drop it, it's not just going to go off on you. Yeah, really good looking pistol in my opinion. Really good looking pistol. Underneath, got some subtle warnings there. Warning, and all that needs to be said is refer to operator's manual. You don't have to have the whole warning information on the pistol itself. Once the pistol is in somebody's hands, they're not interested in the instructions anymore for the most part. I recommend you always read the instructions. I also know that as human beings, we just get things out of boxes and ignore the instructions, sometimes to our own peril. But yeah, that's pretty good, that, I think. Refer to operator's manual. It doesn't condescend. It assumes that you are a sensible person. Yeah, it's good. Ergonomic is the word I was trying to think of before for these grips. Very ergonomic, even if I can't say it. Feels similar to my Walther PPQ, actually. Feels like the same sort of attention has gone into this grip. It does feel very good. It's a good weight to the pistol, although it's metal and it's polymer below. It does feel, you can feel there's a lot of metal in this pistol, and it's a good weight. It feels like it's not the weight of a toy, you know. It feels like it's a realistic pistol weight, but it's not heavy. It's not cumbersome in your hand. It's quite light. Similar to, I would say, again, the Smith & Wesson M&P. I think they share a lot of similar characteristics, these two pistols. Round to the back there, you've got more kind of grip detail there. The grips are very nice. Very nice grips. I think I said before, they are the Umarex HDP, I think, takes its inspiration for grips from, oh, I'm knocking my camera again, from the VP9. If you look at the grip shape there, and again, and also the trigger guard. I'll try and put a picture in just here, and so you can compare those. Very nice. Let's have a look then at the magazine. So this is a typical H&K kind of a trigger guard mag release, but it works well. It shoots it out there into your hand. You don't have to grapple for it and scrabble around to try and get hold of it. Full size metal magazine. Very good, very efficient air pistol style magazine. You've got some of your mechanism here for that kind of closes up and forms a nice tight seal inside the kind of chamber, if you will, prevents CO2 from leaking too much. Yeah, so tried and tested formula, similar again to the M&P, similar again to the Glock 19X. You can see your CO2 in there. You've got your spring there. It does lock back, so with these gloves on. I can't get it to slide down, but it does look back into the little tab there at the bottom. And it would be nice. I'd prefer it if they have the little cap on the bottom, like they have on the M&P. You can sort of slide the cap forward, and then it gives you access to your Allen key. Kind of screw there, and then you slide it back, and it just covers up the base of the magazine. Makes it look a bit more realistic. So I wish they had that on this pistol, but I'm not overly disappointed about it. Let's put that back in its home. So yeah, I think this is a really nice pistol. In terms of shooting it, you can shoot it single and double action. It's quite a long before it breaks, quite a bit of travel there. And it's obviously a heavier trigger pull. You can cock the pistol, and although it makes no difference as it would appear to the trigger, it is then far easier. You go all the way back to there, and that's where your wall is. So there's no weight on that at all really until you get to there, and then it's going to break. Nice and satisfying. It's going to cycle, and then for the reset, it's only there, and then it goes again. It'll blow back. There's the reset, and bam. So quite a short trigger pull when it's in kind of single action. You know, once you started running the gun. I'm yet to fire this yet, so I'm hoping that that's kind of accurate. You know, sometimes with the like with the Glock, it looks like it should reset there, but it's kind of you have to go further sometimes to shoot again. So we'll have to see. I'll do have a bit of a shoot and play with that this afternoon perhaps, and see what I think of it. But generally speaking, in terms of the gun itself, the quality of the build, it's another good gun from Umarex. You're not going to get VP9 made by anybody else, because as it says on the box, what does it say there? Umarex holds the worldwide exclusive HK trademark and exterior design copy license for use with this product, granted by Heckler & Koch GmbH. So, if you want a VP9, if you want an HK, it's got to be Umarex. This will sit nicely in the cabinet, in my locked box, and looking forward to shooting it. I hope you've enjoyed the review. As always, please do give me a like, give me a share, subscribe, get involved in some of the conversations we're having on there, and I'll try and keep these videos coming. Thank you very much. All the best. Take care.